We live in an era where we can witness incredible moments again and again, as long as someone had the reflex to hit record. And honestly, sometimes that feels like a superpower. Because on March 20th, 2026, something happened that didn't just go viral. It genuinely shook the world of electronic music, and maybe even changed it forever. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video on this whole situation, it's called Is This Finally the Return of Daft Punk? And it will be pinned in the comment section below and somewhere up there. Because trust me, you will want the full context. But quickly, here is what happened. You've probably already seen that moment where Thomas Bangalter appeared next to Fred again and just casually played one of the most iconic tracks in electronic music history, like it was just another Monday. Well, Mondays are trash. Another Tuesday. And the question I asked myself back then was simple. Is Daft Punk actually coming back, or are we witnessing something completely different happening right in front of us? Well, I think I've got the answer. Because Fred released the entire DJ set for free on YouTube, and today we're going through it, breaking down the most insane moments, the structure, the energy, the emotions, and even some details you probably missed the first time, the second time, and even the third time you watched the set. Fred even commented on the video himself, so when I will quote him, you'll see his face right there or there. And honestly, even if we're going to go through a lot of the video together, I still highly recommend you watch the full set on your own, or with someone else, or with multiple people. Because this is not just a DJ set, it's an experience. I'm Veldema, and let's dive in. Before we even talk about the music, we need to talk about the atmosphere. Because this is one of the most underrated parts of the entire set. Well, at least to me. And also one of the reasons why it feels so different from your typical festival show. This set wasn't about giant LED screens, fireworks, flames, or overwhelming visuals trying to grab your attention for every second. Instead, the whole space at Alexandra Palace was transformed using soft lighting, long flowing drapes, and a setup that almost felt organic, like you were inside something alive, rather than just attending a concert. The lighting design leaned heavily on diffusion, meaning instead of sharp beams hitting your eyes, everything felt smoother, warmer, almost like a light passing through clouds. And that creates a completely different emotional response. From what we know, Fred has been working with creative teams that focus on immersive environments rather than traditional stage design, often blending lighting, architecture, and crowd interaction into one cohesive experience. And you can really feel that there. Because instead of watching a performance, it feels like you're inside it. And do you know what's also better than just watching a performance? Subscribing to this channel. That's right. If you enjoyed this kind of breakdown, music culture / DJ analysis, and just honestly videos that try to go deeper than just, oh, this drop is really cool, then make sure to subscribe. Thousands of new people keep joining the channel every week, which is honestly making me crazy to think that you're interested in what I'm saying. So if you're already here, well then thank you so much. And if you're new, welcome. You picked a very good video to start with. Alright, let's keep going because now things get serious. First of all, the intro. Fred launches the first track. Thomas comes to join him, then Fred backs up and he lets Thomas in the booth prepare his tracks. We can hear Thomas' orchestral work with his piece Mythologie 10, L'accouchement, and vocals from My House.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove, and from this groove came...
I asked myself, where do the vocals from This Is Our House come from? What do they mean? Well, this comes from one of the most iconic spoken words in house music history, often referred to as My House, originally by Chuck Roberts. And what it represents is actually very important. It's basically the philosophy of house music. The idea that house music is not owned by one person, not by one DJ, not by one culture, but by everyone who steps into it. When he says, "This is our house," it means that the moment you enter that space, whether it's a club, a rave, or even just a moment like this set, it becomes a shared experience. And starting the set with that message is not random at all. It's basically saying this is not just Fred's show. This is not just Thomas' moment. This is our house. Me and Thomas spent the week in London preparing a whole lot of things, so we had a USB stacked with ideas we could draw for depending on what ended up happening in the moment. Some we didn't get to play, some we made without each other hearing, so it was still a surprise. But this was one he played me in the studio, so I knew where he was going. And let me tell you, this first 3 minutes right there, I've never felt calmer in my life. Knowing that what was about to happen was... One more time, X. We've loved nothing. X ain't no mountain high enough. You're telling me this was the beginning of the show? Are you kidding me? 4 minutes in. 4 minutes? 3 minutes and 35 seconds in, and you are told it's not just a Fred Again event. As one more time reminds you what you're here for. When you hear Ain't No Mountain High Enough layered into that intro, it adds another emotional layer. Because that song is about connection, about overcoming distance, about always being there for someone, no matter what. So when you combine both ideas, house music as a shared space and emotional connection that goes beyond barriers, it sets the tone for the entire set. It tells you that it's not just about tracks, it's about people. Now the tempo is rising and we're witnessing some insane back-to-back transitioning right there. And next with Hackney Pigeon, Sammy Vergi VIP, Tessera. Shout out to the UK, the only place to go after that song I thought. Shout out Ed from Overmono, aka Tessera. It sounds like an old Daft Punk transition, and it's pretty much confirmed because it's rolling and scratching. At first I thought it was a real scratching from Thomas, but after reviewing the footage, it's just so shaky I thought it was fudging. Rolling and scratching, X spinal scratch, X 808 state, X baby again, X rumble, X renegade master. Who knew Daft Punk's work could work so well with Euro tracks? No big screen, just the moments and some incredible lights. It was mad hearing those iconic vocals like My House vocal from the beginning or this one, but played by Thomas. It gives them a sort of even deeper resonance. LFO, LFO. Crescendos, Daft Punk, MPH edit. This is so underrated, it's crazy to me. Such a good song. Shout out Buzzy P and Thomas' son looming in the background, headbanger forever. Technologic X Stop and Watch X Pulse Z X Needle Guy X Circles. We made about 20 versions of Technologic mashed up with different things, but this was one that I decided to play. Shout out to Curve. Thomas and Fred's smile is crazy, and although it's probably the first time Thomas is smiling, I think.
switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, tuck it, seal it, curl it, sign it, view it, code it, jump and lock
Okay,
it,
we played
scroll
2.
it.
Technologic X Nether Guy.
Tick, tick, tick. Technology. Tick, tick, tick.
Tuck it, seal it, curl it, sign it, view it,
Okay, we played 3. Technologic X Circles.
update it. Tick, tick, tick. Technology. Tick, tick, tick. Technology. Tick, tick, tick.
It is a bright object, and it's
Contact X Migers X Night Vision, the 12th cover.
apparently rotating in a very
Doing it right, X Places to Be. Clips Remix. Look at Fred. What's 87 times 2? This is some insane lighting and staging. It's just incredible. Look at this. It's crazy. But it prepares us for the big moment at 36 minutes. I remember my eye caught this group of friends who were just all facing each other, shouting everywhere. It was beautiful to see. You can hear Thomas playing with the things live. Even the best can still mess up a bit sometimes. But to me, that's what makes this set even more interesting. The drum machine was synced to the decks for the whole set. Thomas was making these mad sounds in the moment of it. Club to Death, Kuraya Mino Variation X, The Revolution will not be televised. This is an insane transition to this. Into some insane lighting. Look at this. Look at this. And it just cannot prepare us for what's gonna happen next. We just got an insane transition into some insane lightning, into this. I remember I looked down at the decks and saw the track was called Revolution, yeah. I thought I wonder what the yeah means. So, yeah, sure. And the smile on Thomas' face is just incredible. Even Thomas wear earplugs, so just do it! Stereo Sounds, VIP, Pascal. Touch, Daft Punk. Big Haw. This is our Daft Punk record, I think.
This is the last night we're gonna get to play music for a long while. Thank you so much for joining us. Every single one of you. London is my favorite place in the entire world.
This is really emotional. The last time we're gonna play music for a long while. And it turns into Giorgio by Moroder. Daft Punk. Digital Loving Arms. And now the lights change to indicate something incoming. We've got only vocals for a long time taken from Friends' song into this. And yeah, Fred's just holding his head because this transition is so insanely cool. You got to admit it. One of the things that brought me this indescribable joy this night was seeing Thomas' son singing along to every song of his dad's. He was like one when they last played. Look at that face, man. This is the face I remember most clearly. Raspberry Beret, Prince. Teachers, X Flight FM, X South Side. Shout out Joy Orbison, man. For a crowd to look at this just at like the hi-hat of the intro of a song. He's referring to Joy Orbison, a UK producer known for blending house, garage and bass music in a way that has heavily influenced the modern UK electronic scene. So when the crowd reacts instantly to just a hi-hat intro, it's not random, it's cultural. Daft Punk listed all their teachers, so it only made sense for me to do the same. You can probably guess what's coming. Turn on the lights again. And you just cannot guess what's coming right now. Listen to this.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us.
Turn on the lights again. X. Harder, better, faster, stronger. It just had to be done. One of Fred's biggest songs plus one of Daft Punk's biggest songs. And why is it working so well? Fred is just holding his head because the transition was so perfectly timed for a not pre-recorded transition, it was very risky. The bass swap right here is really important to keep people engaged because I want to keep the energy up for what's coming. And what's coming is a melody and a synth, a bit of a throw by Fred into probably one of the most energetic parts of the show. And it's right in the middle. Listen to this. Aerodynamic X Victory Lap 5.
I got a bar that will send a man, send a man. Send a man, send a man, give me the mic, and now, and a man, and a man.
That was a bit of a troll. The smile! Look at the smile on Thomas' face! We should probably make a counter. I'm not counting. This is probably the simplest transition they made in the whole set, but it's so effective that it takes people by surprise. And people also often forget Daft Punk made. Starboy with The Weeknd.
I'm trying to put you in the way. Look at you down. I'm a motherfucking starboy.
Starboy X Leave Me Alone. My brother texted me like an hour before the show, being like, is it just me or are Starboy and Leave Me Alone like the same but in different universes? Leave Me Alone, Nia Archives Remix, Fred It. Mythology 5. Les Amazones. We don't know at all where this is all going, lol, but people seem to enjoy themselves. They're in a loop and very concentrated. Thomas is tinkering and playing with the synth. People get along with the rhythm. You've got crowd control. Now, play a vocal everyone knows. We wanted to build up each of the parts in the machine, and then, gradually, the machine finds its soul. Music sounds better with you, Stardust. Daft Punk, Armand Van Helden 10 Minutes of Funk Mix, X 2009, X IC. Never the End, X Can't Do Without You.
Shout out Caribou, I know you're here. The greatest.
Look at Thomas' son. He's just so emotional. Oh Jesus Christ. This was maybe the most beautiful things I've ever seen happen. That's Thomas' son singing in a song he made when he was 12, blended with Thomas playing I Can't Do Without You. We can see Thomas smiling to his son, crying, and his wife, Elodie Boucher. This is my favorite shot in the whole thing, is this. Thomas' son crying pulls you right into the moment. It's just so beautiful. And this whole calm moment was for this. The chemistry between Thomas' son, Thomas' wife and him is just so beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. Signatune, Thomas Bangalter edit. I love that, just like Freddy's reconforting Thomas' son. But nobody knows what's coming. I can guarantee you. And yeah, some people get emotional. Everybody knows what's coming, but still the tension is so present and everyone can feel it.
These talking, standing, falling, came here on. Shoulder to shoulder, wish out to hold you, but I don't know where you go. Touch me, talk to me, pull me out of this.
Listen to this. Delilah, pull me out of this.
Pull me out of this.
10 seconds after the start of the song, everyone is singing. No fancy lasers, no fancy fireworks, pyrotechnics, confetti, just amazing colors and beautiful moments. Look at this. This is why we love Fred.
Make some noise for all of the crew, people on the bar, people on security, people on the door, people in all of the rooms we can't see. Ali Pali, go!
Shout out Ali Pali every single time. Thomas is just enjoying the moment.
And I can feel it.
At first, we get the just on their vocal, with a hint of what's coming next.
And I just stand there.
They look just so exhausted, it's crazy.
Feels like a coliseum. She loves me.
Just on their ex Femi,
Thank you so much.
ex, one more time.
Go home safe.
No, I'm not emotional.
London.
We gon' make it through.
This has been the greatest joy of my life. One last time, make some noise for Thomas Bangalter!
One more time.
The show is ending the same way it started. It was an experience, a journey, not a simple show.
Every person in this place, from the right to the left, the front to the back, show Thomas how London does it!
One more time.
Thomason was like, I wonder if we'll get that on the table tonight. And you'll see that Thomason is pushing him on the table. And Fred is just so happy to see him. Thomas is probably an introvert, so this is probably huge for him. He's been like with a helmet for like 25 to 30 years. And he also looked at his son multiple times, and his son is just so happy.
One more time. We're gonna celebrate free.
To me, this is the picture of the show right there. They seem to share so much love and compassion for each other. It's beautiful.
One more time.
To everyone who's been a part of USB 002, everyone who came through around the world, everyone who made it what it is, thank you forever.
Thank you all so much! Oh my god! What? I need you not to lose that feeling.
Now that we've gone through this entire set, I think it becomes very clear that this was never meant to be just another DJ performance. Even if Fred Again's performances in general are often unique, this was a journey. Carefully built, sometimes chaotic, sometimes perfectly controlled, but always driven by one thing: emotion. Because when you look at everything that had happened here, the structure, the risks, the tempo changes, the imperfections, the live elements, the family moments, the smiles, the tears, you start to realize something important. This wasn't about being perfect. It was about being human. And that's probably why it resonates so much right now. In a world where so many performances are pre-planned, over-polished, and sometimes almost too perfect to feel real, this set feels alive. Nobody is questioning if they just pressed play. You can feel the uncertainty. You can feel the decisions being made in real time. You can feel the connection between two artists from completely different generations speaking the same musical language without needing to explain it. And honestly, that might be the most inspiring part of all of this. Because it shows that music at its core is not just all about gear, not just all about trends, not just all about algorithms. It's about moments. Moments that you don't fully control, moments that surprise you, moments that stay with you long after the music stops. For me personally, watching this set the first time was already insane, but watching it again, fully focused in the studio without distractions, made me realize how much detail, intention and emotion was actually hidden inside it. And it also made something very clear. This is the level I want to reach. Not in terms of fame, not in terms of numbers, but in terms of impact. I want to make music that makes people feel something like this, even if I'm not on the stage. And, well, I'm working on it. So if you want to follow that journey, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on social media, and tell me in the comment section below what your favorite moment of the set was. Because I know you have one. I'm Veldema, and remember, be creative, be inventive, and keep chasing those moments that give you those goosebumps. See ya!
I just stand there.
Thank you so much. Get home safe. London.
We gon' make it through.
This has been the greatest joy of my life. One last time, make some noise for Thomas Bangalter!
One more time.
These guys are giving me nothing.
One more time.
Every person in this place, from the right to the left, the front to the back, show Thomas
feeling. Celebration tonight. Celebrate. Don't wait too late.
London, how you feeling? I said, London, how you feeling? But here's the thing, family. You see this feeling that you have right now? This feeling in your soul that you have right now, fam? I need you to make sure when you go home you don't forget this feeling. You hear what I'm saying? You see this feeling of gratitude that you have right now?